Welcome back, class. This is your Catia mentor, and in this video we're going to go over the styling fillet command in the Freestyle app. So let's get started with Freestyle shape design app. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a headrest. So I'll create the surfaces. It'll just be something real quick just to introduce you to the commands. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with our headrest. So I'm going to make, instead of making the XY horizontal plane my privilege plane, I'll make the YZ my privilege plane. And let me start by creating a patch. Vertical, as you can see. And let me make this around somewhere around 10 by 6 roughly. And OK. Let me go ahead and change the lighting. I'm going to go to View, Ambiance, and Camera, Override. We can have no light, one light source, two light sources, or the zebra neon lights. Now, what I should have done first is create a geometric set to place our surfaces in. So let's go to Tools, Geometric Set. All right. And I'm going to move this surface over to the geo set. All right. So there we have it. So I'm going to start by first shaping the surface. So imagine this is the front of the headrest of the seat. So let's edit using control points. And I'm going to go ahead and fix the top surface and lower surface, fix it, and I'll leave the sides to move freely. I'm going to increase the number of nodes or rows and columns. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pull normal to our privilege plane. I'm going to grab the side here. Just to give it a little bit of shape. And let's go ahead and use symmetry. I want to keep this symmetrical. Select all points. Let me go back to points. Select all points. Make it symmetrical. And we can smooth it out a little bit. Okay, so that'll represent the front. And OK. And let me give this geo set some color. Right click Properties. Let's make it black. Alright, so now I'm going to make the back side of the headrest. So I'll just make a copy of our first one. And paste it. And I'm going to use control points once again. So points filter, select all points, go normal to our privilege plane. So I'm going to move it all in one shot. There it is. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the top wire. So I'm going to grab mesh only from the top, bring it in a little bit. And I'll take the bottom and pull it outward a little bit. And let's smooth it out. Let's go back to points, select all points, and smooth it out or even blend it slightly. Smoothing it out. And let's keep it symmetrical. Select all points, symmetrical about the ZX. Alright, so next step is to combine them. Okay, so I'm going to use the style fillet to do the top of the headrest. So let's go back to creation, styling fillet. Alright, so I'm going to pick my first support, the front surface. Then I can pick the edge. By the way, if yours doesn't allow you to pick the edge, you got to turn this on. Pick the edge. Go to next surface. Turn this on again. If it doesn't allow you to pick the edge, pick the edge. Make sure both arrowheads are pointing inward. And let's apply. Okay, so you can see we have up to G3 continuity. Let's take a look at G0. Apply. G0 is just point continuity. It's a connection. G1 will give us tangent continuity. G2 will give us radius as you exit one surface will equal the radius as you enter the next surface. And G3, apply, will also give you the acceleration. The change in acceleration as you exit one surface is equal to the acceleration as you enter the next surface. Alright, so now we have our surfaces for the front, top, and back. Okay. Okay, so next step is to do the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to change my privilege plane to the XY plane. Patch. Okay, there's our patch. Hit OK. I'm going to move it downward. Oh, clicked on the wrong icon. Control points, there it is. And I'm going to move it all downward, normal to our privilege plane. Select all points. Okay, that's the bottom of the headrest. Alright, so now I'm going to do the sides of the headrest. So I'm going to change my privilege plane to the XY plane. Okay, so let's go ahead and create that patch. And OK. And I'm going to move it outward. So let's use control points. Go normal to our privilege plane. Select all points. And let's pull outward. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the wireframe and pull this inward a little bit. And let's select all points again. Points, select all points. Okay, there we have it. And I'm going to go ahead and mirror this to the other side. I'm going to go over to Generative Shape Design. And I'm going to mirror this side surface about our ZX plane. And okay, so we got the basic shape of the headrest. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to intersect this surface, and we're going to intersect it with our horizontal surface, and it'll give us two lines. And I'm just going to keep both. One thing I did forget to mention when we created our first style fillet If you turn these options on, it'll trim off any excess and join. So I had these turned on so it actually joined the three surfaces. I'm going to leave it as three separate surfaces, so I'm going to leave these off and hit OK. So now it messed up my intersect, which is fine. I'll just recreate it. I'll just delete the intersect that I just created a few seconds ago. I'll just redo it. Okay, so let's do it again. Intersect this front surface with the horizontal. Hit OK. There's our line, our intersect line. And let's give this some color to our lines. Right click properties. I'll make lines cyan with the number 2 thickness, just so we can see the line. There it is. And we'll do the same thing on the back side. Intersect with the horizontal. And there it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create cylinders along those cyan lines, those intersects. So I'm going to use sweep. So I'm going to sweep along this intersect. I'm going to go with the circle option, circle. And I'm going to go with center radius, center radius. So this is my axis. And I'm going to type in a radius of, let me try 1 inch. Okay. And I'll do the same thing with the back one. One-inch radius. Make sure you have the circle option on. And center and radius. The line is the center. Okay. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to intersect. Let me change the color of these cylinders. Okay, so I'm going to intersect the cylinders with this surface. Well, I can even trim it off. Okay, so I'm going to take this surface, and I'm going to split it with the cylinder. Okay, so remove the X's inside. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing with the back surface. I'm going to split it with the blue cylinder. Okay. Now I want to do the same thing with the lower surface, but it goes all the way through the cylinder. So in this case, I'm going to have to either shorten this so it's inside the cylinder. Actually, I think that's what I'll do. I'll take the easy way out so I can have less steps. Actually, you know what? I'll just go ahead and trim it with the, I'm going to split it with the cyan lines. So I'm going to select the surface. I'm going to split it with the line, there it is, and then the cylinder. See if it allows me to. Yes, did work. And okay. Okay, so now I can get rid of the cylinders. I'm going to just hide them. Okay, so I'm going to do a style fillet from the front of the headrest to the flat surface, or what's left of the flat surface. I'm going to go ahead and hide the cyan intersect lines. Okay, so let's do a style fillet. Let's go back to Freestyle Shape Design app. And let's go to creation. We'll create our style fillet from this surface, this edge, to this surface, this edge. And let's go with G0 first, see what we get. G0 continuity, apply, we should get a straight surface. Okay, let's go with G3, apply, there it is. And we can trim off any excess and join. I'm going to go ahead and, actually I'm going to hold off on that for now. Then I'll join them later all at the end. So I'm not going to use a trim and join option. I'll leave it off. And OK. Let's repeat the same thing on the back side. So back side of the headrest, same thing. Style fillet, pick your surface. Pick the edge of the surface. Pick the flat surface and pick the edge. Make sure the arrowheads are pointing inward to generate the styled fillet. So it's got style because it's not a simple arc. It's got G3 continuity. Apply, and there we have it. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to combine all these surfaces with the exception of the outside surfaces. So let's go ahead and join all this. Oh, generated wireframe and surface. Let's go ahead and join it. There it is, it's all joined. And OK. Okay, you can see it's all joined. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to split it. So let's take this center joined surface and I'm going to split it with the outside surface and this outside surface. Keep the center portion. And OK. And I'm going to do the same thing with the outside surfaces. I'm going to split them with our center surface. Do the same thing with the opposite side. Split this surface with our center surface. OK. Alright, I'm going to extract the edges to do another cylinder to create our style fillet. So I'm going to go ahead, or one thing I could have done is I could have intersected before trimming. I could have intersected the two surfaces, but since it's already done, I'm going to go ahead and extract point continuity all the way around. I could have also used, I think it was the border command. Do the same thing on the opposite side. Alright, so let's go ahead and create our cylinder. So I'm going to sweep using circular. Now 1 inch may be too large of a radius to go around this tight curve. Let's see what we get. Preview. Yes, it's too tight. So I'm going to lower it. So as you can see, it's overlapping. That's the reason we're getting the error message. Let me drop it down to 1/2 inch. See if it accepts that. Still too much. And let me go down to 0.25 inches. And it's still a little too much. Okay, so let me drop it so it's the tight turns that's overlapping. So let me delete this. And I'm going to do it one more time, but with smaller. Instead of 0.25, let's go with 1/8, 0.125. Okay, so now we do have a cylinder going all the way around. Let's give it some color so we can see it. There we have it. Do the same thing on the other side. 0.125. And it gives us that message just letting us know, hey, check, make sure it looks good. It appears to look good. Yes. Alright, so now we're going to trim the surfaces with these new cylinders. Okay, so let's take the center one and we're going to split it with the blue, blue cylinder on both sides. Okay, then let's do the same thing for the side surface. We're going to split it with cylinder. Okay, go ahead and hide this now. You can see there's an opening. Okay, let's do the same thing on this side. I'm going to split this one. And let's go ahead and hide it. And you can see there's a gap. Alright, so now let's go ahead and finish this off by combining with some styled fillets. Instead of using extract, I'm going to go with boundary. Okay, so I'm going to grab the boundary of this one. Okay, I'm going to grab the boundary of this one, this side, and I'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Let's do boundary, this side, and boundary for the left surface. Alright, so now let's do our style fillet. Let's start with this side. Let's go over to Freestyle Shape Design app. And let's go ahead and fillet style. Okay, so we're going to pick our surface. I'll pick the outside one first. And pick our curve. Go to our second support. And pick our curve. And we'll leave it at G3. Make sure the arrowheads are pointing inward. Yep, they're both pointing inward. And apply. And there it is, giving us our G3 style fillet. And OK. I'm going to hide the curves. And you can see that it's combined, that we have combined, or I should say we have created a style fillet. Now to combine all three surfaces, I can go back, double click, and say trim excess and join for both sides. And OK. So now this is one joined surface. And let's do the same thing for the other side. Style fillet, pick our surface, our edge, surface, edge, and make sure the arrowheads are pointing inward. Yes, they are pointing inward. If they're not, you can always click to flip it, but in this case we want them inward. And we want G3 styled. We want to trim and join and OK. And we can go ahead and hide our boundary curves. And there we have it. We have our styled headrest for our seat. Hope you liked this video. See you in the next one.